Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Batiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. KOG and Company. Are your unique gifts and talents changing the world? Do you desire to belong to a community of unity? Visit KOGpassion.com to learn more about the Unleash Your Dopeness movement.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Money Factor here on the Sphere. My name is LaShonda Johnson, certified financial educator, and also the co-founder of the Houston Housewives of Finance. Welcome back, and today we have a very exciting show. We get to talk about a lot of stuff today, and I'm very, very pleased to be able to have with me my guest co-host, one of Men and Money's finest, and also a licensed financial professional, Mr. Derick Berry. Hello, Derick.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm awesome.
Great,
I'm awesome.
Great.
It's awesome to have Derick. Has actually been with us before here on the Money Factor. You probably see him on in a few other places with us as well. But Derick, give everybody just a few minutes of who you are, what you do, what you're about.
Well, all right. As she mentioned, my name is Derick Berry. I'm originally born and raised in Louisiana. I've been in Houston now for about 19 years, on and off, part of that time overseas, but background is engineering, and I've been in the financial services industry for a little while now.
Awesome. So it's fitting to have him here today because we're going to be talking about a lot of things in the news. And I needed some male representation, man. we're going to be talking about some serious stuff today, and I needed the male perspective. So let's just get into it. So what we're going to be talking about this morning, Derick and I, first of all, you guys know we do money. We talk money here. It's the Money Factor, right?
Yes.
And so everything, it's funny how everything, it's not funny, but it's just life. Everything flows through money. Every industry, every career, everything, money is in the center of everything.
Right.
And so as we're talking about how money is in the center of everything, let's just talk about what's going on in the news today. Okay. Right. So, and Derick is going to be able to give a whole lot more insight on this than me because he's a male this is the male perspective, but we're going to talk about this Trump and NFL situation.
Right.
Let's talk about
that.
Let's talk before we get to the article. Let's kind of set the stage. The thing is, he says some kind of foul things, and nobody's happy about that. So give us your opinion on that, Derick.
I actually heard about it recently, and man, he's special, but from a personal note, everyone have their own personal opinion, but we do have, the Fifth Amendment right of freedom of speech, and to his point, and to some, some news shows that I watch, they were saying that even that's a profession, and in your profession, you shouldn't take it at work because they're paying them good money, and in so many words, they don't need to use that platform to take a stand on a political standpoint. Mm-hmm. And I actually heard something yesterday. This gentleman was saying it, and I disagree personally because, even at work, you should be able to take a stand on your Fifth Amendment rights. It doesn't exclude places that you can and can't,
discuss how you feel about things.
Mm-hmm. we know I've been told that in certain environments, that you shouldn't talk about religion, politics, and so on and so forth. So from a business standpoint, I do understand that you shouldn't, because so many different race, cultures, and creeds. But it's also okay for what they're doing, because they're not actually saying anything; they're just taking a knee. But of course, just an action such as that is powerful, because of the time they're doing it. Make sense? But
which is during their time, of course, of employment.
Right. So to Trump's point, he's saying that they're disrespecting, and a lot of people are offended due to the fact of it's during the national anthem, of course, and former President Obama mentioned that he said he just want all parties to look at it from both sides, and that makes sense. He broke it down extremely well. What he was saying was the people that's taking a knee, he want them to look at it from people who served in the military, or people's family that served in the military, that lost their lives, some of the things they went to, that it's offensive to them that they're kneeling during the national anthem. And then he also said, on the other end, the people that are taking, to us, are the ones that's not taking a knee, to understand their point of view, that they're watching loved ones or friends and family actually get murdered by police, when we had a lot of issues, and understand their point, that they have a platform and they want to utilize their platform to express themselves, because normal people such as ourselves don't have
the opportunity to do. So now we're going to take a look at the article, because the article kind of sets things up. I mean, literally, everybody is entitled to their opinion about this situation, but let's talk about the financial aspect of this. Now, let's go to the article. This is posted on CNN, which you can go back to the link. If you go to thesphere.tv, you'll be able to go to this link. But it says NFL owners including many who sided with their players in protest this weekend, were big donors to President Trump's inauguration festivities. So at least $7.75 million of the $106 million raised for Trump's inaugural committee came from the NFL owners and the league, according to the public records. So NFL Ventures and lucrative business unit of the league gave $100,000. Is that 100,000? 100 million? 100,000. Okay, my left eye. And and many owners gave more. That included $1 million from Shadid Khan, owner of Jacksonville Cougars. And so let me just stop right there for a second, because this is kind of a tricky situation. So you have people NFL owners who've actually financially supported Trump. And then you have the players that are taking a stand against some of his stand. And so it's kind of puts them between a rock and a hard place, because I need my players because I need to continue to be profitable in my team, in my organization, but I'm also contributing to someone who I believe in his cause as well, or I believe in him as a political leader.
Right.
So what's your thoughts about that?
Well, that's a good question. Now they contributed and donated to his inaugural, venture. So just because they believed in what he stood for when he initially came in office doesn't mean that they still agree with everything that he's doing. So and for those that still may, support him, it's still their prerogative. However, you have players that has issues with it. You should respect both parties. I feel, because at the end of the day, if you are an individual who deeply have concerns about something and you want to express yourself, it doesn't matter the platform you own. If I'm in an office in a meeting and someone says something to me that I don't personally care for, I'm gonna express myself and voice my concern.
Yes.
So I personally feel like if they have an issue with it and choose to sit them out or actually, cut them from their camp, it's their personal decision because it's still their team. I think that's a poor move and a poor decision because at the end of the day, still your rights and your belief, is just yours. And they're not personally attacking the organization. Makes sense?
Right.
It's just a time that they're expressing themselves.
Yes. So what does this have to do with money? Everything.
Right.
Because you're talking about NFL players who they make multi-million-dollar salaries for entertaining us through football. You have owners who profit from that. And then you have the leader of, the free world who is expressing himself in my opinion, less than favorable ways to be a leader. There is a way to be able to address every situation and consider. I think that needs to be, there needs to be more consideration for people, everybody in this particular situation.
Definitely.
So when it comes to money, again, money is at the center of everything. And we're talking about a lot of people's lives can be affected by their choices in expressing themselves, especially, the one that they banned, the player that they banned. And so, a lot of people stand to, you can't get rid of everybody. So if everybody starts to take a knee, then what are you going to do? Fire everybody? Are you going to get rid of everybody? How are they going to be affected? Well, we don't know. That stands to be seen. The jury's still out on that. But I think Trump kind of aggravated the situation.
He definitely did.
He aggravated the situation.
Yeah, he insulted him. He called him. He called him a pretty nice name.
Some things that we don't want to repeat here. And if we don't want to repeat them on a podcast, then our leaders shouldn't be saying these things publicly. Tweeting them and those type of things. This is a leader of our country, and so we have to be sensitive to everybody's contribution to it. Entertainment is a very, very large part of what we do here in our culture in America. And there's a lot of money that flows through entertainment.
Yes.
Even more so than even the corporate environment. So I think we just need to be a little bit more cognizant as a country, as a leader in our country, of how we're going to express ourselves. And I know it's an emotional topic right now. I'm seeing it all over the place. Football players I've never seen them. Basketball players. And it's going to be something. We've not seen the rest of the end of it. I want to say.
Right.
So,
and you do have some NFL owners that's threatened to fire their players, and once again, it's their decision. I personally think it's a poor decision because at the end of the day, they're like I mentioned, they just taking a knee, and they're not. I don't personally think they're hurting anyone. They're just saying during this time, I choose to kneel because there's nothing in my contract at this point
that tells me I cannot.
Right. Yes. So for them to be fired, I think y'all should personally try it, so that way y'all can be sued legally. Because if it wasn't in the contract, then the player are not doing anything that's not illegal.
Yes. And so I see a few of you guys are commenting on Facebook. We're going to get to you in just one second. Right after this moment, it's time for our first sponsor here in the show, and that is Elite Dental Wellness. And so Elite Dental Wellness, their vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and lifetime of dental wellness. We're committed to the finest possible oral care and the overall health and well-being of our patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Through our commitment to modern dentistry, continuing education, and friendly atmosphere, we strive to make our patients feel that they are part of our family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable. Dr. Batiste and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Ashandra Batiste at Elite Dental Wellness at 713-789-8680. Okay, awesome. So let's get back to it. I know a lot of you guys are commenting on Facebook, so we appreciate it. Let's get to it. We see, first of all, a lot of you guys are tuning in, so thank you for tuning in. We see some comments there about Jerry Jones. And also Keon Martin. Somebody says you look like Keon Martin. Okay. So you guys tell us what you think about this. Look for clauses being added to future contracts. I would think that that would be an issue. You know, Clinton, thank you for giving your comment there. So every time that things like this happen, then there's changes that happen to address it, because these, you know, as we progress in time, more things are happening and more things are becoming acceptable that weren't before.
Right.
And the owners, what do you think the owners are going to do as a response to this?
Well, the ones who want to follow suit with the president, I definitely believe that they will do an addendum to the contract, and at that point, then the players will be obligated, you know, to stand. Until then, the ones that actually personally want to kneel or sit, I personally don't think that they can do anything, because there's never been an issue until Kaepernick, you know, first took a stand or kneel.
Yes.
Should I say?
Yes. So I really like one of the comments that Nikki Berry put out. Good morning, Nikki. Hey, Nikki. Nikki says the progress that we've made in this country has all come from the people taking a stand. I feel these players are brave, as they are risking their livelihood for themselves and their families to take a stand for people that are being hurt and mistreated in this country.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, so we can say that the fiber of the United States, you know, the free world, is being made up of those of us who live here.
Right.
So we do have a political leader, but he's not the only person that's responsible for how, you know, the fibers of this country has been woven together.
Right.
It has to do with all of us.
Right. That's a good point. I
Yes.
mean, we are together a unit.
Absolutely.
Right? So he represents, he's the voice of the country. However, he's a voice. Still
Not
at
the
end of the
only
day.
voice.
Right.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you know, we have several political leaders that took a stand, and then now individuals are taking a stand for multiple reasons, multiple causes. So I believe it's okay. We all have that right, and he co-signs other bad behavior, you know, from people, quote unquote, taking a stand, which also hurts others. You know, that's way worse than kneeling, you know, during a national anthem. So he really is not cautious on how he picks and chooses his battles
And his words.
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation.
Oh, that's just, it's so disruptive and so, man, what is the word? There's no words. It's just so, it causes so much discord.
Right.
Is the thing. So you guys, unfortunately, we're only 15 minutes live here on Facebook. So if you have not subscribed to The Spear, we need you to go do so right now, this minute, this second. Go and subscribe. Then while you're there, we would like for you to write a review. Tell us what you think, what you like, what you'd like to see here on The Money Factor. We'd love to hear from you. Share the show. You know, we talk about some good stuff here. All things about money, all things that's going to help you, pop culture, things that are happening right now, and relevant information about money. And we bring this show to you absolutely free.
Yes.
We would love for you to donate. There's a donate button there that you can help and advance our cause. You can donate just one time, or you can become a donation patron, someone that donates all the time.
Yes.
So we would love for you to do that.
Please do.
Please do go to the Sphere Podcast Network. I love the new name change. But go share now so that you can other people can see what we're talking about. But subscribe so you can make sure that you watch the show in its entirety. Okay,
yes,
so we're going to continue. Yes, we need to do this. It's good stuff.
We have to do better.
We talk about great stuff here, and while you're there, you'll see that there's a whole lot more to offer than just the money factor.
Right.
Okay, so now let's continue. So let's go on and see what else is taking place in the news. Because man, I think this is just the tip of the iceberg of all the things that we're going to see about this situation. I don't know if other, professional sports are going to come into this, like baseball, or golf, that remains to be seen. But right now, you insulted some people, and
Right.
you cannot expect them not to be
Right.
affected. You know,
Definitely.
is your message, sometimes your message could get lost in the way you deliver it.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have meant something really good. I completely agree that we need to respect our country.
Right.
And we really need to take a stand for our country. And that national anthem means a lot for our country.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, the message that you're trying to portray or get across, the delivery is what's the problem.
Right. And
I don't know. Can there be a class he can take for this? I mean, is somebody can somebody
it's-
help him?
they-
I mean,
They say it's never too late, but I think it's a little too late for him. I think
my
I think
gosh.
his money has warped his mind. He personally doesn't really
you
care.
need
what
some
he
people
says.
in your camp to tell you.
They tell him he doesn't listen.
I mean,
He doesn't listen.
okay, so you
They-
guys, let's all be in prayer. You
Right.
know,
That's
anyway,
pretty
that's
much-
that we should be praying for our leaders anyway.
Right.
And we really need to be in prayer because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only that, and we're not trying to make this a political show
Mm-hmm.
because it's not. But I'm just saying, again, revenues throughout the country are affected by the things that we do, whether we like it or not. You and I, personally, our incomes will be affected by these things.
Yes, everything revolves around money.
Everything revolves around money, whether
Mhm.
we like it or not. So we're going to go, speaking of revolving around money, let's talk about Uber.
Okay.
Uber been kicked out of London.
Yeah. Too bad, so sad.
I mean, I'm like, okay, how did you get kicked out of London?
Right.
London is a place where people don't, I mean, they use a lot of taxis.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of,
Serious transportation.
serious transportation going around in London. So, I mean, anyway, let's look at the article because I'm like, what? When I saw it, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Let's go to this. Okay, so Derick, you want to read that for us?
As if Uber new CEO didn't already have his work cut out for him, now he has to deal with losing one of the company's biggest markets. On Friday, London's transport authorization said
Authority.
I'm sorry, said Uber is not fit and proper to operate in a city. The city opted not to renew the company's license, a decision partly based on some of the
What is this?
revelations.
Damon Revelations.
Sorry. I got my glasses, but still can't see. Revelations that surfaced about Uber this year. Among these revelations, the company used controversial grayball software to prevent regulators and the law enforcement from monitoring the app. Uber said it was never used or considered to be based in the UK. Still, London no longer wants to offer the ride-sharing service a license. Uber said 3.5 million people have used the platform since starting in London in 2012. It said 40,000 licensed drivers will be affected.
40,000 drivers.
Yeah, that's a lot of jobs.
I mean, some of them, that's their part-time gig. Some of that's their full-time gig.
Right.
Either way you slice it or dice it,
money.
income,
It's money.
again, here we go. It's money.
Right.
Money is affected. It is the center of every single thing. So if some people are using this for extra cash flow in London, man, that's going to be a problem for them.
Right.
But look at all the millions of people, the million of people that actually participated.
Right.
And so, I mean, nowadays people are taking a stand for things, and
Right.
it's affecting their pocketbook.
Definitely.
You know.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, at the end of the day, this just talks about some of the leaders we have in place of these companies and the decisions they make, or to make or not make, can affect a lot of people. And I mean, not just people that work for the company. This is a proven example that is affecting the population as well.
Absolutely.
Because now they have to deal with transportation and an additional cost of catching cabs. We know a lot of people catch Ubers because it's supposed to be less expensive depending on the location. So now this has just opened up another income issue for other people.
Yes, absolutely. And so you're also dealing with, I know Lyft is probably happy about this. Lyft is probably excited, like, oh, they're out. Oh,
Yes.
we're in.
Uh-huh.
So, what does this mean for you and I as it relates to money?
Yes.
Well, you have to get educated.
Right.
Because as you can see, even at the corporate level, at the level of countries,
Mm-hmm.
people are making decisions that affect cash flow.
Right.
And so they're looking into the policies and procedures of other companies who they're allowing to do business in their country, and rightfully so.
Right.
And so I know that there's also a campaign on Uber's end to correct this. They're being very apologetic. Of course. So as it relates to you and I, there's a lot of things that can be happening around us and we don't understand it. And we're still not taking control of our money. So we've got to make sure that we're getting educated about our own personal situation.
Yes.
Even though we're engulfed in these things,
Mm-hmm.
and I would encourage everybody to make sure you're paying attention to what's happening nowadays.
Right.
Nowadays, you really cannot afford not to be in the
Definitely.
know.
Definitely.
Yes.
Especially with the decision of some of the leaders that's running certain companies and even the country. I mean, they can make a decision and it affects us all.
It affects us all.
Right.
So with that, we want to make sure that you get out to our workshops.
Yes.
Come out Tuesdays, Saturdays.
Yes.
Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Saturdays at 10 a.m. Can you give them the address, please?
Yes, it's 2500 East TC Jester Boulevard, Suite 345. And as she mentioned, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
Yes, come out and get educated,
Yes.
okay? So you guys, we're at that time in the show where we need to talk about our second sponsor, one of my faves, or my fave, that is the Spear Podcast Network, okay?
Yes.
So are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your podcast placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Spear Podcast Network. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every single time.
Yeah.
Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So a lot of good things coming on the pipe, down the pipe for the Spear Podcast Network. You guys, if you got a business, I don't know what to say. If you're not here,
Take advantage of the platform.
I'm just saying, the train is going to be like choo choo, pass you by. So
Yeah.
get on board. So let's go back to Uber.
Okay.
So now this goes on to say the companies has 21 days to appeal the decision. So they give you a chance. They're giving them a chance. Uber will return in part to its users to advocate for the brand. So far, Change.org petition to keep Uber running in London has earned over 740,000 signatures since Friday. So I don't know if they really care about people's signatures. That remains to be seen too.
Right.
It's a significant decision, not just because London is a big taxi market. What I'm saying, a huge taxi
Yes.
market, but also because it might set a precedent for other cities that are of two minds about Uber. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
According to whatever this person's name is, he's a professor at Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. Okay. So it's important that it's not just, it's important that it not start some sort of demonic effect across the rest of Europe, said that person's name. It wouldn't surprise me if more cities start to push back heavily because they are trying to preserve their power.
Right.
So that's where we're talking about money, and how money is the center of everything. And people are starting to exercise their power,
Right.
Whether you're on the receiving end of it or the service end of it.
Right. And like you said, that the decision is unknown, what'll be the outcome. But you see the large number of people that's trying to keep them there, and it's because they are personally affected.
Exactly.
And that's a lot. It's almost 1 million people, and that's I'm sure there's nowhere near all the people who actually may be affected. So that's why it's important.
I don't think that they're considering that. My question is, are you guys considering that in London? I mean,
I don't think they personally care, because who knows if they getting a kickback.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Right.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I'm not putting out any controversy,
Yeah,
but maybe not. Lyft might be behind this.
Right.
We never know. But again, money again, it is the root of all good things and bad.
Right.
And so we just wish that more people used it for the purpose, its purpose intent, which is, also good.
Right.
And so I don't know what's going to happen there. That's pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're getting more and more people to sign this petition. But still, some people use Uber to get, home from work, to get to their second job. I mean, but I'm also thinking about the 40,000 drivers.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking about their income being affected, their disposable income being affected, or their primary source of income being affected, because it's much easier to drive Uber than it is to now own and license a cab.
Right. And that's why one of the things we speak on when we educate is having multiple streams of income.
Yes.
For those who were doing it part-time, they were trying to do that. For those who if that's their full-time job, then now they automatically are affected financially.
Yes.
I'm sure that they at this time they probably have exhausted their emergency fund, which is another thing we talk about. So it's important to always generate different sources avenues of income.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so speaking of causes, ours is a great one. National Campaign for Financial Literacy.
Yes.
We're trying to educate 1 million people by the year of 2020. There's no telling what's going to be happening in our country by 2020.
Right.
With the way things are looking today. So you're not in a place really not to understand how to manage your own finances.
Right.
It's not a choice anymore.
Right.
It's an obligation.
Right.
And we've got to do it.
Right. And we're providing a platform where you can, wean out ignorance of not knowing, right?
Yes.
So it's really all
wean out
all
ignorance.
on you. It's all
Yes.
on you. So someone's telling you they can help you and share some things with you and educate you and don't charge you anything, and you choose not to. Well, it's consequences to your decision. I'm sure
Absolutely.
At first you couldn't do anything about it because you didn't know. It wasn't people, offering this type of information. So I would highly recommend taking advantage of some of those workshops she is talking about.
Right. And I want to say this too. Let's think about the people who actually invest in Uber.
Yes.
Those of us who invest. So if you're an investor in Uber,
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to lose London, one of the biggest taxi markets.
Yes.
I would venture to say that that's going to affect your return on your investment with
definitely,
Uber.
Definitely.
And so again, all these things affect us. So if you're a person that has, you're putting some money towards Uber,
Right.
now you really need to get in the know
Right.
and figure this thing out, what you're going to do and how it's going to affect you and as far as your investment is concerned. And so again, these decisions
Right.
that are made around us affect us personally.
Yeah, and speaking of investment, we really need to take that serious, because a lot of us have investments and we don't realize it, like your 401k, your 403b, all of that's invested in the market, right? Different types of markets. And for example, it could change, go left or right at any given day. We know that. But say, for example, this turns into a war with North Korea, which we all hope that doesn't happen.
Oh my
but
gosh.
you have two fireballs, if you will,
Oh my goodness.
going head to head. So
yes,
if
Rocket
that
Man
happens,
statements
right,
and
right. If that
are
happens,
we like in elementary? Where are we?
Well,
I mean,
right.
Really?
That's who we have representing our
Oh my gosh.
country, and he's already a loose cannon over in North Korea. We know that.
mean,
So
he
it's
is too.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be
So-
good, right? You have two people butting heads, and
And what happens when two people butt heads? There's some type of explosion,
right,
and so, oh my gosh, if we have sense enough to see that,
right.
what?
It's going to affect all of us, honestly, and like I
We live
mentioned,
here.
without right, with our investments money we have in our 401ks and other things, that can go really bad, really fast.
Really fast.
And just think of all the people who have money and about to retire. And this happens.
It has happened before.
Right.
It has happened before. You guys, please get educated.
Yes.
You've got to come out and figure out, okay, how do I protect what I built?
Right.
How do I make sure that my stuff is safe? my coins are safe. How do I, make sure that I'm in a position that whatever happens in the political realm and otherwise, that my assets are protected.
Yes.
Okay. Please give us a call, 1-844-700-4463. We would love to extend a personal financial strategy to you, complimentary by the way. That means free.
Yes.
You can contact me at LaShonda at HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. You can also reach out to us at info@HoustonHousewivesOfFinance.com. And you can reach Derick by
MrBerry33@gmail.com.
Okay, yes, please reach out to us. Actually, we're on Facebook as the Houston Housewives of Finance Official. If it doesn't say official, it's not us. Some of you are still following our old hacked page, which says Houston Housewives of Finance. Go to the Houston Housewives of Finance Official. You can also follow Men and Money. You can also follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn. You guys, just find a way to connect with us. You can Google us. You can reach us that way as well. We are here for you.
Yes.
Okay. I know Houston's still recovering from Harvey. You still need to get your money right. You need to make sure that your claims process is taken care of. Okay. You have a budget now. There's so many things to be considering as it relates to money.
Yes, you should. Because, like I said, we all are one. At the end of the day, we're all Houston natives. So we need to make sure that we're in position to learn and grow.
Absolutely.
Sense? Recover from this. We all are in this together.
Absolutely. And speaking of income, now some good news is that Target is taking a stance on the minimum wage requirement. Wow. Target raises minimum wage to $11 an hour. From 11 an hour up to 15 by 2020.
Wow, that's good.
So we're talking about our national campaign for financial literacy by 2020. Well, Target is saying we're going to raise up to $15 an hour by 2020. Now that's going to affect Target. Walmart.
Yes.
I don't know what Walmart pays their people, but now we're talking about a whole new game in the part-time industry, in the retail industry. So they're setting a standard. So I could see some people wanting to go work for Target for that.
Definitely. Yes. Definitely. That's a game changer right
there.
That
is. Let's see what the article has to say.
Go ahead.
So it says Target is giving its workers a raise. Yay. The company announced Monday that it would increase the minimum hourly wage for all workers to $11 next month. Target also committed to a $15 minimum wage by the end of 2020. The company says that the increase will also apply to the more than 100,000 hourly workers it is hiring for the holidays. So you can go get you a part-time and increase your cash flow that way, and get, instead of the traditional probably $8 or $10 an hour, now you can make 11. Target has been steadily raising the minimum wage from the past few years. It hiked up amount to $10 an hour. So if you work for Target, congratulations, you're getting a raise.
That's good. That's good. They taking their own personal stand, to help and take care of their employees, and that's what having a business is. You have employees that dedicate themselves and their lives, and they understand inflation. The big guys understand inflation, and they are trying to help.
They are trying to help. So if you guys follow us on Facebook, which is the Houston Housewives of Finance Official, take a scroll through our page. You'll see an article that was written by myself. It's called Your Money Matters Series, Part 1. And it is how much money you earn matters. How much money you earn matters. So it specifically talks about, if you live in the Houston area, what you need to earn to live inside of City Center or outside of City Center, And yes, it talks about this specifically. So how much money you earn does matter.
Right.
And so that's important because the employees of Target, if this is your full-time thing, so you're thinking about, I've got to make a decision where I live based on what I earn. So how much money you earn does matter. It dictates where you're going to live.
That's good.
It totally dictates that.
I didn't even think about that. That's
yes,
real good,
it does. It does. So check out the article. It's also published in Empire Magazine. It's also on LinkedIn. If you follow me on LinkedIn, LaShonda Johnson, CFED on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find the article as well. But it talks about, again, how much money you earn, how much money you earn matters. And then the next article that we're going to release, or I'm going to release, is going to be how you spend your money matters. Okay. So it's a 6-part series. Make sure you look out for that with us here at the Money Factor. We'll talk about it here. We'll talk about it on social media. You'll see it published through Empire Magazine as well. So we've covered quite a bit today. We have some more things we want to talk about, but we got to get out of here a little bit early today. And so, you guys, we want you to be able to share the show. So, Derick, please tell people how they can reach you, please.
Mr.berry33@gmail.com, or you can call me at 832-338-4722. And I want to thank you for what you're doing, with this show and all you do, because you have a platform and you're taking advantage of it to help people. So, and y'all doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much. And we, of course, cannot. We would be remiss if we didn't thank Gary Lee, who gave us this opportunity. Gary Lee, the producer of the Spear and founder of the Spear Podcast Network. You guys, please check it out. There's a lot of content here that's valuable, very valuable content. I mean, we're inundated with a lot of smut TV, but this is valuable information. As you can see, if you're watching us, you can see all of the different lineup of shows. So your drive time can be very productive time by listening to us. Just want to say that we are on iTunes. We are on Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. So we're on all these mediums. I mean, I even found us on Podbean. So you guys, we're pretty much everywhere. You can Google The Money Factor. And today is our 74th episode.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of information that we're talking about that can help you. So you can look for a topic that's applicable to you and listen in. Share the show. Please share this because it's valuable information that we all need. And please, definitely make sure you reach out to Derick. Derick is a financial professional, but a man of integrity. And that's important when you're dealing with people with money.
Definitely.
Okay. And so you can tell from his dialogue with us today that, he's a partial person. He's a reasonable person, but he's also a very skilled, licensed professional. So make sure you contact him to sit down with him and plan for your family's future. So we appreciate you very much for being here today, Derick. So you guys tune in next week, same time, same place, right here on the Sphere Podcast Network, where we'll bring you more content and more news about money that we know you can use. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.